Thank you very much. And thank you for the very kind words. I'm very honored, obviously, to be Berkeley's new president. I'm extremely honored to be here, visiting with our SJA partners. And let me say a warm welcome to all of the student musicians here, the faculty and the staff and the administration of SJA. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you. That's a great question. Obviously, as a new president, I have some ideas about how we might move Berkeley into the future and the next stage for this great institution. I'm very excited to be able to take Berkeley into its next stage. It's obviously a wonderful institution that has accomplished a great deal. The last 10 years of my career have been focused on the marriage of the arts with technology and business. And Berkeley has had a historic focus on technology, and now also very strong programs in music business and music industry. To me, I think it's extremely important for us to integrate those disciplines into the creative pursuits so that our students are able to take what they love about music and their passion for the arts, but also to drive that forward in entrepreneurial context, utilizing technology to be able to achieve their dreams. Well, I think obviously our Global Partners program is extremely important, and Asia in general and Korea particularly will be always very important to Berkeley. I do think we have growing opportunities across India and the Middle East. I'm also very interested to see if we can grow our presence in Latin America and also Europe. I think the Global Partners program is something that will always be at the core of what Berkeley does, because a strong part of our mission is to create global diversity wherever we are as an institution, and to be able to nurture that diversity, to be able to create great art. So I think if we've learned anything about the music industry over the last decade or two, it is that the industry will change very quickly in ways that are almost impossible to predict. So I think as educators, we really need to think about educating our students differently in order to be able to think about engaging with a world or an industry, if you will, that perhaps we don't even know today. So teaching our students the ability to think critically about what they're doing, the ability to utilize their skills, their abilities, their knowledge, perhaps in lots of different ways. So applying what they've learned with us in other industries and other fields is extremely important. The other thing that I think we really have to think about for the future is allowing our students a little bit more say in how they craft their career pathways, which means giving them more agency in how they craft their degrees as well. As I said, in a lot of ways, students today are more comfortable with technology than we are. And so sometimes they know better what the future holds for them than we do. So I think it does, influence the way that we teach and the way that we're working with our students. One of the ways that Berkeley is preparing for that is with new degrees and new styles of degree. For example, we've just launched our first Bachelor of Arts in music industry, leadership, and innovation. And so instead of looking at educating students to become the executives of the music industry today, that program is really educating students to be the music industry visionaries of tomorrow. And I think that's a very different way of looking at music education. And I do think that it's going to be important to continue to drive programs like that in the future. Well, I think, Korean popular culture is a juggernaut right now. and it's on a very, very sharp rise around the world. You mentioned, for example, a couple of examples that are the results of the great work being done by CJ Group, our dear friend, Vice Chair Mickey Lee. And when you look at the examples of a corporation like CJ and what they are doing, we can see that, in fact, they are working across new platforms and driving whole new ways for the world to be able to explore the work of Korean artists. I think, as we think about that at Berkeley, and we think about continuing to look differently at the creation of content and the distribution of content, we can take a lot of lessons from Korean pop culture. And so for me, the specific focus on cross-media, some people call it the metaverse, is really, I think, the future where everybody needs to go. And there is such a strong movement in Korean pop culture to be able to do that, looking not just at music content, but the story behind the creation of great music, and that narrative, the storytelling, if you will, blending across media and giving the audiences the glimpse behind the creation of the music. So for me, I think that's going to be not just the future of Korean popular culture, but really popular culture everywhere. Yes, I can, but first I have to say one of my best memories of Korea is being here at SJA. Thank you very much. I am honored to have been here. And I just want to tell all of our students to remember that they are very special, they are unique and irreplaceable, and to follow your passion, no matter what happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.